normal roadway would be. But that moment and having that many people stand in unison and in silence, the only sound that you would hear was the radios that were on their hips.
Lights right outside of the hospital. You can also see members of the Miami-Dade Fire Department attaching an American flag to ladders. This flag.
He was only 27 years old.
And here is video of the police procession that happened 1 hour ago. Law enforcement escort.
Our deputy, Devin Jaramillo, responded to a traffic crash.
His body to the medical examiner's office. And just before the procession, this site earlier this evening, a line of law enforcement vehicles showing the support from colleagues near HCA Florida Kendall Hospital.
And officers and deputies were seen outside of that hospital praying for their colleague, and flags and ladders were raised earlier tonight to honor the deputy, Devin Jaramillo.
Our team coverage begins right now with Local 10's Brett Neese.
He is live at the medical examiner's office for the deputy.
And when he responded there, he was brutally attacked and he was murdered. Samaritans called 911.
As she walked away, another deputy actually holding on to her, embracing each other as they made their way around. And of course, this scene has been blocked off for hours. Another interesting aspect, I'm going to circle back around to a point I made earlier. We knew one of the
deputy's body just arrived tonight. Brett.
Calvin and Nicole, what a somber scene. What an incredible moment, an incredible show of support here outside the medical examiner's office. Over 200, maybe 300.
Still very much hours. It started at 4. And they are still going strong, collecting evidence and going through every little finite detail. Let's go ahead and play you a portion of the interview from the sheriff.
I want to start out by saying that today is not okay.
Known as the Arch of Honor. I want to take you now to this heartbreaking video that we're looking at of the casket leaving the hospital.
Hey. What happened today in Miami-Dade County and to our deputy was not okay. And today will never be okay. I ask our community to pray for the family of our fallen deputy, to pray for all of us, because
officers lining this roadway up and down here. You see some of the flashing blue and red here behind me as the procession has wrapped up and a number of these officers are going back to work. That's the hardest part about all of this. That is the ambulance, though, you are looking at behind the medical examiner's office of where Deputy Jaramillo's body was brought here. There is a huge group of sheriff's deputies behind the medical examiner's office building right now. I'm looking at them as they huddle, gather together, and sadly share.
We're a family, and we are hurting. I ask this community to pray for our community. Pray so that we can find a way that things like this never happen again.
In this moment of grief, but this happened very quickly. They were able to put this together very quickly. They shut down a number of roads. It took about 30 to 35 minutes to come from HCA Kendall to this spot here. You can see the massive American flag that the deputy's body passed underneath just a few moments ago and came here to the medical examiner's office. And this procession ended in such a moment, such a powerful moment, a somber moment at that, with a number of people here showing their support and departments from all across.
You're live. You could see just the visible emotion from that deputy. She was crying, obviously, a very intense, emotionally taxing day, incident for many within this department. As she walked away, another deputy actually holding on to
across South Florida, showing their support as well. And I believe I see the mayor of Miami-Dade County right now hugging a sheriff's deputy right there. That is Daniela Levincava hugging that sheriff's deputy. I saw that sheriff's deputy in particular hugging a number of his coworkers here once he arrived. And the hugs, the handshakes, they are plentiful. They are ones that nobody wants to give, but you have to give in a moment like this, as this fallen deputy's body is brought here to the medical examiner's office. And this procession has ended just within the last few minutes. But Nicole and Calvin, what a somber moment, what a powerful moment, and what a powerful show of support.
And Brett, all evening we've been talking about how the silence was so strong. Just the way the officers would line the streets and not say a word, but you could feel it.
Absolutely, Nicole. I mean, to see 200 or so uniformed officers lining this roadway a roadway that just a couple of hours ago was open to the public and was used as a...
Florida, a quiet night just outside Gainesville. A young deputy, only 27 years old, responds to what seems like a routine car crash. But within minutes, that call would turn into a deadly ambush. And what he didn't know was that someone was waiting for him. It was just after midnight when Deputy William Hollingsworth of the Suwannee County Sheriff's Office got the call. A vehicle had crashed on a lonely stretch of road near Lake City, Florida. He'd been on shift for nearly 10 hours, but like every dedicated officer, he went anyway. The call was standard: one car off the road, possibly a DUI or medical issue. What he didn't realize was that the driver wasn't injured. He was armed and angry. When Deputy Hollingsworth arrived, he found a badly damaged SUV. The hazard lights flickered in the darkness, illuminating the broken glass and twisted metal. Inside sat a man in his late 30s, later identified as Jason McDonald, acting disoriented. But the second Hollingsworth approached, something shifted. His hand disappeared under the seat. "Sir, can you show me your hands?" Hollingsworth shouted. But before he could say another word, gunfire exploded through the night. Deputy Hollingsworth was struck. Backup arrived minutes later, but by then, it was too late. The young deputy, just 27 years old, lay motionless by the side of the road. His last radio transmission was barely audible. Shots fired, officer down. When paramedics arrived, they couldn't save him. A promising life, gone in an instant. A hero taken by surprise in what should have been a simple act of service. Police quickly surrounded the crash site. The suspect, Jason McDonald, had fled into the nearby woods, but was caught hours later. Investigators later discovered that McDonald had a violent history, outstanding warrants, a history of domestic assault, and had been drinking before the crash. He'd crashed while trying to flee another hit and run. When Deputy Hollingsworth approached, McDonald panicked and pulled the trigger. One reckless decision destroyed 2 lives that night. Deputy Hollingsworth wasn't just a cop. He was a husband, a son, a friend. He joined the force at 22 because he believed in protecting people who couldn't protect themselves. His fellow deputies described him as fearless, funny, and always first to volunteer. His mother said he wanted to make the world safer, even if it scared him sometimes. And he did, until the very end. At his funeral, hundreds of officers stood shoulder to shoulder under the Florida sun. The sound of bagpipes filled the air as his mother placed her hand on the flag covering his coffin. "She gave the ultimate sacrifice," she whispered. And she was right. Because even though Hollingsworth didn't know that night would be his last, he still went. He still answered that call. That's what heroes do. This story isn't just about tragedy. It's a reminder. Every badge, every siren, every call could be someone's last. If this story touched you, honor Deputy Hollingsworth's memory by sharing it. Let the world remember his name and the sacrifice he made for others. Rest in peace, Deputy Hollingsworth. Your watch has ended.